we ain't got no chance to win this thing. Have yourselves a great day. Thank you for.
Nick Kurtz will receive American League first place votes this year. You going to buy that, George? You want to sell that? I believe we had Caminero, we had Raleigh, we had Aaron Judge.
Bobby Witt. He'll be there as well. I'm a big fan of Kurtz. No, we're not related, by the way, for those who are wondering. Okay, not as far as I know. I keep getting that.
You're a little taller than him.
Right, just a wee bit. Yeah, Nick is a.
Be like this, actually.
I'm not sure Nick would fill in his room. Yeah, that's something like that. But my only problem with him, I think he's gonna have a great year. All right, I think he's gonna have a very good year here. He's gonna be fantastic. I picked 12 in my points league. If he's there at 12, I'm taking him. I'm just grabbing him here. I don't have a second round pick, but I'm taking him anyway. My only issue is this: they're not gonna be very good, right? They may be a little better than expected. Maybe they approach 500, maybe. But it's tough to get MVP votes when you're not winning. All right, you're not in the playoff contention or anything like that. Are you going to be able to beat out an Aaron Judge? I'll buy. I think he's going to have a big season. I think he can get one. I don't think he'll be very, it won't be top 3 or anything. I think he can get one. Yes, I'll buy.
Yeah, I'm going to sell this. I was really I understand what the metrics said, and a lot of smart people, George, that I asked told me that Judge probably was the MVP. But man, Cal Raleigh couldn't win MVP with that season that he had last year. And I understand all we're doing is asking questions about first place votes, but don't think there's a lot of love for the voters with Sacramento, no matter what Nick Kurtz does. I'm going to sell this.
Fantasy Sports Today, Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
On SportsGrid, it is game time decisions. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. We have got ranked action actually starting right now. Tennessee at South Carolina. Seniors night. Some of the conference tournaments are going to be starting, Gabe, with Louisiana, Georgia State. I took actually the Panthers on the money line, minus 120. I think they might be a bounce better defensively here. Short price. I'll play Georgia State. It's a huge, huge Tuesday card.
I tell you what, Kevin, worlds are colliding right now, and that's all cute. You're right. Oh, we got big-time college basketball. You know what else we got? We got the Netherlands and the Baltimore Orioles going head-to-head right now, right? Yeah. We got Venezuela and the Houston Astros going head-to-head. And we also just got our first taste and our first look at Team USA and this loaded roster that they have. And dear God, they've hung 15 up on the San Francisco Giants. 15-1. 15-1. The U.S. have put 15 runs up on the board. It's the calm before the storm. WBC set to begin. A couple of final exhibition, little final tune-ups for these teams before group play starts in the overnight hours tomorrow night. So, yeah, with the college basketball, full slate of NHL hockey tonight. And I tell you, Kevin, the NHL trade deadline is around the corner. It's coming up on Friday. So there's a lot of teams on the clock right now in the NHL, NBA. Well, the NBA is the NBA, right? So we got college basketball, NHL, WBC, and we got the NBA. Although, how about the Knicks and Raptors, man? Raptors can't beat the Knicks, Kevin. 11 straight times the Knicks have beaten the Raptors.
It's a good one. I'm not playing. There's a few interesting NBA sides tonight. I would play Toronto if I was playing it. I'm not touching that game tonight. It's very possible we do see Knicks Raptors in round 1. And I think that is actually a scary matchup for the Knicks. Because I do think Toronto has a level of toughness, athleticism, shot making that can challenge the Knicks in certain areas. And, New York now off 2 straight good wins. This is usually when they send their fan base into a bit of a tizzy and drop a game like this.
You know what? I'm a diehard Raptor fan. I think the Knicks would beat the Raptors, and from the history that we've seen. But the Raptors are a tough. They're the Raptors are a good team, Kevin, but they're one of these teams, if you notice, they don't really beat good teams. They had a nice run. They beat the Spurs once, I believe, and they beat Oklahoma City on the road. They've had a couple of showcase, signature wins earlier in the year on the West Coast. But as far as Eastern Conference opponents and the beast of the East, they played the Pistons in a big showdown 2 weeks ago. They got lit up. All right. The Knicks, every time sort of a statement game against the Knicks. And then they'll turn around, they'll beat the Wizards, and they'll beat, the Pacers of the world. They're a good but not great team. But like you, I don't love this game tonight. Even though the Knicks have owned the series, I don't love the Knicks here. The Raptors, are going to burst that bubble eventually. They're fired up for this game. If anything, I think the under. These two teams, if you look when they do play, they usually only get into the low 200s here. 221.5 might be a little high for these two teams.
Yeah, there's a few good NBA games tonight that we'll go over. I want to, though, because especially, and again, this is just the great luxury now to have Gabe here on this show, is how well you know all these things that pop up. This is just the reality. Things pop up and everyone tries to swoop in. Gabe is in it already. He's been in it for months, right? You know the pools, you know the situations. So for people today, Gabe, who see the U.S. for the first time, right, the favorites, 15-1, I don't know if that's going to move a number, but people are now going to think, oh, they're going to blow out everybody. All the games are going to be high scoring. Judge is free if they post props. What do you take away from what we're seeing right now?
I wouldn't take too much away from it, to be honest with you. The San Francisco Giants were pitching Logan Webb today, right?
Yeah.
Logan Webb's on Team USA. It's basically minor leaguers, AAA guys. There were a couple of dudes that took a couple of swings earlier in the game, but it was basically like a minor league San Francisco team. One thing, though, I'll take away, and it's interesting because the books weren't posting numbers before the games, but they pop up live in-game, Kevin. And the theme has been that the club teams have been beating the national teams. Right, that there's been a little theme here. Even Team Japan. So you suddenly not going to bet on Japan because you find out they lost yesterday?
Right.
Team Japan lost yesterday to a Japanese league team, right? But the Japanese baseball league is legit, right? So they lost 4-3. The dude on Japan got thrown out at home plate and stuff. Canada today were down 7-0 to the Toronto Blue Jays, and basically the Blue Jays farm team, right? They were down 7-0 to the Blue Jays. They came back. They tied 7-7. The Blue Jays ended up winning. Mexico just ended up beating Arizona. So I was sort of looking at this, Kevin, and I'm curious to see how it plays into tonight.